Hi, how's it all going? Hope you're doing well today. We've got another question here. This is going to be like in your assessment practice question, and we're going to be looking at a sine function here, voltage by most householders. Now it gives you a maximum voltage of 120 volts. There are 60 cycles every second. Wow, that's quite a lot. Does it give you a minimum? No, so what's the lowest that you can go? So we're going to have to assume that the minimum equals 0. So let's work out our formula for this. We want the equation that best represents the value of voltage. So let's go and have a look. We've got y equals a sine bx plus c plus d. That's the sideways shift. There's the amplitude, and there's the d value. So the amplitude is going to be 120, the maximum. It's going to be 120 minus the minimum divided by 2, which gives you 60. And d, the vertical shift, is going to be 120 plus 0 divided by 2, so that's obviously 60 as well. So you get y equals 60 sine bx plus c plus 60. Now to work out b, it is always 2 pi divided by 1 cycle. Now a cycle, it does 60 per minute. So that's 1/60th of a minute is 1 cycle. That should have been per second, not per minute. Slight slip of the tongue there. So that's why I've gone 2 pi divided by 1/60. And I suggest on your calculator, you do 2 divided by 1 over 60, and you should get 120. So it's 120 pi per second. That will be for your period. So voltage equals 60 sine of 120 pi plus c, a sideways shift, plus 60. So we'll pop over to Desmos and we'll have a look and see how that comes out. So now I'm in Desmos. I put my formula in and I put it at C, and look at that. When C is 0, a big red mass. So I'm going to go to the tools and change our x-axis. And we're also going to have to change our y-axis. So changing this value here, the x-axis will start from, let's say, just about half a second. So we go back negative 0.5 of a second. And we'll go to perhaps, because it goes 60 times a second. So let's go to half a second, 0.5. Whoa, that's still quite a lot. So let's change that to 0.1, a tenth of a second, and also do a tenth of a second there. Okay, now we haven't got our y-axis right. So we know that the lowest value is 0. So just go a little bit below 0, put -1. And there we go, 121. So now we can see our graph there is much better. So the maximum value is at 120. Our minimum value is there at 0. There we go. Now, we normally don't start a graph halfway through at 60. So perhaps we could start it at 0 by moving our slider. And this is going to be a little bit tricky. I might change those y-axes a little bit more, get a little bit better. Okay, so we want to move it so it actually goes through the point 0, 0. So I want to move that. So I'm going to get my slider, I'm going to move it along and shift it along until I get to 0, 0. And yeah, that would be -1.6 for my C value. So now I have the formula. And I can go and write that up, which I'll do in just a sec. And so that I found out that my C value was -1.6, which I can put in there, and I found the formula. So I hope you understood that one all right. Getting the pi, the cycle, amplitude, sideways shift, vertical shift, all the same. Go through it again, make sure you understand.